Everyone, Metal Levite Alex back. Repetition. Back with the very last in this long playthrough of Bloodborne. Indeed, and as you can see, I've already gone through the Marigo's Wet Nurse, and before him, Mikolash, for the third. And as far as my playthroughs are concerned, final time, so I can get the third and final ending. Well, it's technically the first ending, but I went from I did the true ending first, then did the other endings as I went through the new game pluses. And in that case, I'll have gotten all of the trophies for the game. And I'll have platinumed it. So, yeah, by going through the game again, I've had a lot more. I've gotten better at the gameplay. At least I would assume I have. And I've definitely thought over the game a bit more since I technically reviewed it, and more thoughts just kind of came to me as I went. Some that unfortunately I didn't bring up in my review and wanted to talk about but didn't, not helped by the fact that it was late. And what took me so long to do this was that I tried to do a trick in regarding the PlayStation 4's save system where I could basically stop the console from auto-saving after a certain point, being the end of the game where the hunter's dream workshop is burning up. I tried it. Unfortunately, it didn't work. So unfortunately, I had to go and do another speed through of the game. Now, I didn't do this the first time, as I chickened out of it and figured there's no way. Yeah, it'll either be a 50-50 chance or rather 80-20 chance of it actually working. And I tried it again. I actually tried it again at the end of my last ending video for Bloodborne, where I did the Honoring Wishes ending. It didn't work, so that's why it took me so long to finally come back with the final ending for Bloodborne. And this ties into one of my big problems I ultimately have with it. Apparently, yeah, there's no actual manual save file in the game. It says load game in the main menu, but it's not so much a load game as much as it's just a load profile and nothing else. Apparently, Dark Souls had a manual save. Every other respectable action game this day and age, and even ones from 10 years ago, did this. So why Bloodborne doesn't have it, I have no fucking clue. If anything, it hurts the game because, yeah, I want to play the game again some more. I did want to play the game again some more, but not like this. I mean, if Dark Souls had it, why couldn't Bloodborne have it? So yeah, I'll talk more about it, as well as a certain other flaw that I have as soon as I finish the ending. Yep, it's all burning down again.
Good hunter, you have come. Dawn will soon break. This night and this dream will end. Gammon awaits you at the foot of the great tree.
Yup, third time in a row.
Good hunter, I sense the...
Same thing.
Very well.
Can I level up at least for future's sake? Yeah, I can. I'm gonna do it. So that way, if I ever play the game again, I'll be good and ready. I'll be good to go. If not this that is, assuming I use this profile ever again. I may also make another one in my free time if I wish. So, yeah. I think that about does it. So, last ending, platinum trophy, and I'm good to go. By the way, I did a head count of all the Shadow of Yharnam units in the Marigo's Loft. There's 9 of them. Yeah, all 9 Nazgul are in Bloodborne. Who would have thunk it, right? If that isn't a clever reference, I don't know what is. Well, true ending done. Second ending, right? Take Gehrman's job done. Now it's just the end to the nightmare. Sheesh. And we'll officially be done with the game. And I'll have gotten all the trophies. I'm amazed at how surprisingly easy it was to get all the trophies in the game. They're mostly bosses and collecting all the power-ups and weapons. And, of course, doing the Chalice Dungeon boss, the Queen Yharnam. Then the endings, which, again, needed a manual save. It's gone rather swell. This is one of the few games, PlayStation or otherwise, such as including Xbox, where I've managed to get all trophies, or at least I hope I will, if the game works, because the last PlayStation 4 game I played that I went back to try and do not too long ago, Doom, yeah, one of the trophies in that one is still bugged. It never fixed it, so here's hoping it actually works here.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end.
Yup.
Now, I will show you mercy.
For the third freaking time.
You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun. You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
Well, unfortunately for you, Gehrman, I got a servo skull in my back pocket that's recording everything, so as soon as I'm out of here, my character, Inquisitor Annika Jarlstart here, will report to the Imperial Inquisition, and as soon as news gets out, a Space Marine cruiser will come around and give a righteous exterminatus on Yharnam as is deserved. So, yeah, that'll be all love, sunshine and rainbows for the rest of the world. Submit my life.
Farewell, my keen hunter. Fear the blood.
Goodbye, doll. I'll miss you the most. Alright, Gehrman, get on with it. Ouch. Back in the real world, I think. Wakey, wakey. Aw.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Farewell, doll. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Yharnam Sunrise Trophy. Bloodborne Platinum Trophy. I've done it! I've done it! It was hard work, but I did it. And I'm very pleased with myself. Okay. Well, not much more to say, honestly, except for a few things. Now, yeah, let me get the negatives out of the way of my post-review thoughts. Again, no manual save. This game is begging for it, especially when you have multiple endings like this. I mean, I heard Dark Souls had maybe 2. That's fine. But above 2? Yeah. And not to mention, there's a lot of moments in this game where you can easily screw up and want to go back and fix a mistake. So why, in an action kinda sorta RPG like this, would they leave out such a thing? Honestly frustrates me. And then we get into the other big issue I forgot to mention in my review for Bloodborne. The lack of pause. Yes. I cannot pause in this game at any point. I hated that Monster Hunter World didn't have a pause, and I hate it in here too. Why even lack both pause and manual saves? Like, don't give me the excuse of, bruh, pausing is for casuals. No, that is like basic game design 101. You do not leave those things out. Especially in a game like this. It's not challenging, it's annoying and frustrating, and is just bad game design in what is an otherwise very fun game that I would go back and play again many more times, and I did. So, the game is still very fun. I still had fun going back and seeing everything all over again. The visual storytelling in the game is still awesome. I still love the aesthetics of everything. The lighting is great. The atmosphere is great. I loved picking up on... While I didn't go and explore everything in the game like I did the first time, as I felt that would have just slowed me down even more. I did like going, seeing all the stuff in the main areas regardless, and noticing all the little things. Granted, some of the character models, including mine, such as the character customization, still needed work in my opinion, and the frame rate still kills it in my opinion from being a true next-gen game. It's still very fun to go through, and I enjoyed picking up on all the little things here and there. I still would have liked the game to have been a bit more balanced in regards to being both show and tell, but picking up on on a bunch of notes dropped here and there again, I do get a bit more of a connection with the world overall. And I do definitely like a lot of the main characters. Well, by a lot I mean the 3 that you encounter, the 3 or so that you encounter. Such as the doll, she was my favorite. I loved her little moments, such as the prayer she did at one point long ago, and how she's essentially, like, you could say the rock for the player character. I never once found Gehrman at any other point in the game. Like, I'd look in the back of the house where that one fountain is where you could play dress up. Never found him. I heard him talking about something once regarding his connection to Lawrence, but I never found him, and I never once heard any other dialogue. And of course, I couldn't even. And of course, if he happens to be in the main garden graveyard where all the flowers, of course, I can't go in there because the gate's locked. And I did have fun with a few more weapons that I found throughout the game. I got more practice with the scythe. I love the scythe. That, and of course the cleaver, the Ludwig sword, and the moonlight sword. Those are my preferred. I didn't get to experiment with any of the other weapons due to me going through everything, and as well as the fact that they were under-leveled. But I did enjoy getting them, and I definitely could see myself leveling more up, namely the church pick and the blood letter, the latter of which I had kind of a good amount of fun with testing out the first time. I noticed another thing. The game is set in a Victorian 19th century-ish environment. They've even got chain guns. How come nobody has revolvers? I just noticed that. Why no revolver pistols? I'm pretty sure those were a thing even back then. Would be a lot more efficient than flintlocks, that's for sure. Let me guess, she's gonna take us into New Game Plus number 4. Or is it 3? I lost count. Well,
all signed and sealed.
Skip it.
Now, let's begin the transfusion.
Skip it. Shut your fucking mouth. Let me get on with it. Ugh. No more of this nonsense. Not for a while. I'm Bloodborne'd out. I loved also all the extra costumes you could find on top of all the weapons. So, yeah, that officially ends my whole playthrough of Bloodborne. I'm very glad I played the game, and glad to have gotten all the trophies with it, as backbreakingly long as I thought it would be. I had to play this game 2 more times in New Game Plus, in both New Game Pluses, obviously, in order to do this, and some of the bosses were definitely a little bit more, well, some bosses anyway. Father Gascoigne, frickin' Father Gascoigne was a lot more easy this time around. Both times I fought him again in the 2 times I had to play after the first one. Amelia, still pretty much the same. The Shadow of Yharnam I enjoy very much. Definitely one of my favorites. Rom, she was still annoying, as always, with her spider minions. One Reborn, not too hard, honestly. Mikulash, honestly, just got worse with the last 2 times I had to go and replay the game. He's honestly, in my opinion, one of the worst bosses, because he runs around like a little bitch, and then he fucks you over with his shower magic power or whatever it is. I can't remember the name of it, and honestly, I don't care. Ugh. And it took me more to rise the third time around. The first time I think I lost only by accident due to not being familiar with him. Second time I creamed him easily. Playing it again on the first New Game Plus, definitely harder, but I was able to tackle him. Third time around, it was way worse. like, I lost more to him the third time around, and in the third playthrough that I just did. And eventually, I said, fuck the lock shield, and I cornered him inadvertently into the wall, and I kept wailing at him, and I shot him multiple times with the blunderbuss to keep him there while my stamina came back, and then I finished him off with a couple more wails, and by wails I mean beatdowns, and that finally put him down. That's probably going to be my go-to strategy from now on, should I play in another new game like this. Well, besides another separate profile anyway. And then Marigo's Wet Nurse, who, honestly, not that hard either. She only gets hard when she goes into that teleport mode, and I honestly was able to avoid it this time. I whittled her down to the point that I killed her right in the middle of it. Gehrman, he's not too hard either. The Moon Presence actually did throw me for a loop a couple of times. I only managed to kill it mostly out of luck, because I was trying to heal myself the first time, and she was just standing there, and I figured, screw it, might as well go and give the finishing blow instead of worrying and hope that nothing happens. And nothing happened, so I was able to kill that easily. For the most part, I definitely do enjoy most of the bosses, although I do have a small pool of ones that I definitely don't like. Rom and Mikolash, and definitely some of the Chalice dungeons. Gascon, I kinda still don't like him, but at the same time, I kinda don't mind him anymore, because I'm much more used to his tricks. You know, blast him in the face, hope he doesn't hit me, and then when he goes into werewolf mode, get the music box. And I actually did do that. I went after the music box both times off screen to get when I went to go get the endings. Didn't last very long. Ugh. And yes, even enemies that I originally did have no problem with, like those graduate students in the lecture hall, they actually got harder upon playing New Game Plus and 2 times in a row. So, as far as post thoughts are concerned, you know, lack of manual saves as well as pausing also hurts it among the things that I mentioned before in my main review. But I still like. But I did grow fonder of of the story structure, at least of the game, at least a little bit, and you know, admiring all the atmospheric and visual touches the game has, and a couple of other little things, like the fact that there's 9 Nazgul in the game in the final level. Ugh. Yeah, I can't confirm whether or not that was an actual a reference, but F it, I'm gonna run with it. So, I think that does it. I think that's all for Bloodborne. I'm glad to finally be done with the game to completion. Platinum completion. And I definitely look forward to playing the game again at some point in my off time, and if anything, I'm also kind of motivated to go and try out some other similar style games. Well, like possibly the Dark Souls games, and probably ones that are similar but done well. Like I hear Nioh was actually very well done. I've actually wanted to play that one for a while, but didn't want to spend too much, especially since, you know, bills and crap. But the game's now $20 now, so next time I go out and I see it, I'll definitely be getting it, and I look forward to that too. So yeah, that should do it. Bloodborne, all in the bag. Happy it's done. Finally, I'm glad I played it, even if longer than I thought. And if anyone wants to see more of my little escapade through Yharnam, feel free to go onto my channel, Metal Levite Alex, to see how I've gotten to this point. And I'll definitely be back with another game in due time. So, have a good night, everyone. Appreciate those who came and helped me and watched. And I'll see you all next time.